The scope of the project has changed considerably from the time from 2007. I'm suggesting that we send this out for a vote. It would be a referendum that would be held on May 12th as part of our general election.
And I can hardly go to breakfast in the mornings without an argument. Someone I get an argument with. Las Colinas group, let's just talk to them a second. You are jeopardizing their reputation if you break off with them.
I think that you have far more information than we as citizens have.
We don't have a final financing plan. We don't know what this project is going to cost.
I think you guys are all fully qualified.
You don't know if you can afford it or not. You don't know if you can afford it, you need to modify it. So we've just been moving the process along to find out, where are we?
I don't want it to be a situation with, Nancy Pelosi, where she says you had to pass the bill to find out what's in the bill.
They had a net worth of $2 million. We had 16,534 Convention Bureau Facebook check-ins.
Well, I went over and got the financial statement for the convention center, and we lost money. In 9 months, we lost $1.29 million, plain as day. Now, that 1.29 was over 9 months, folks, because the fiscal year ends in September. So we're running at about a $1.7 million annual rate of loss. The guy's telling us about how many Facebook hits and website hits. We're losing $2 million a year, okay? That is our experience on that piece of debt that we have.
That's what we need. We need the dialogue and the listening that's going to allow us to understand what citizens want.
We are a republic, a democratic republic, and the people of this country have the opportunity to challenge what their leaders do.
It is my personal opinion that a city government has no legitimate responsibility to risk taxpayer funds to develop property for commercial use.
You have an opportunity today to let the people have a choice to vote. Now, that's what we're talking about. I don't believe that there's anyone here that's opposed to the entertainment venue in and as of itself. I think what we're opposed to is the smoke and mirrors financing plan that you put out.
I think that comprises over 30 years of fairy tale financing plan. I've said it before. I believe that. Now, this vote is about whether or not we're going to pledge the 7% that's already spent twice. And that's what citizens are asking for a right to do.
In 2007, we voted for one thing. It has metamorphosized into a completely different type of vote. I think it's time for this council to hear the will of the people.
In the spirit of sound governance, we're here tonight to ask that the citizens should have a say in their money.
I think precisely because there's division, that this should be on the ballot for the people, and because this keeps coming back to the council, let's have a vote on it on May 12th. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
And I am for the citizens voting on what you do. I mean, it was my understanding when this came up that most of that money had been appropriated.
The resolution is to put it before the people to vote again to give you their response. And I think this council should listen, should ask for that vote.
So non-binding to me means, okay, so it passes and you get the will of the people, but that doesn't necessarily mean you change anything.
You are going to have a non-binding resolution if you get to vote in May. There are decisions that will be made by this council between now and then that will make your vote basically probably null and void.
To sit here and listen to people say that you don't want to hear from us after these experiences that I just illustrated is preposterous.
I am totally flabbergasted by your reluctance at placing the issue before you now on the May 12th ballot.
Now, I know that there are certain people who are either for or against the actual venue. That's not what's in question. What's in question is whether or not this council will ask the people how they feel about the changes that we have now had to what was presented to us before.
And like I say, on behalf of my family and myself, I would like for we to go out to a vote simply because the rules has changed in the middle of the game.
You can vote and say, don't do it. By the time probably you get there, we're going to be done it anyway if it continues on the way we're doing.
Allow the citizens of Irving an opportunity to say what they really want, not what some of you think they want.
All we're asking for is just to be heard, not here anymore, but at the ballot box.
A lot of people have gotten up to this microphone tonight and said, just listen to the people. Listen to us.
We want a vote. Time and again, I've heard you have received email, letters, and phone calls stating that people are for this project. Now is the time that you can back up your statements.
If this project is that good, why would people not be willing to vote on it? It's not even binding. What is being hidden? Do you have confidence in the voters voting against?
We wouldn't be here tonight if the rules hadn't changed. From 07, yeah, we want it, but now things change.
There should be no discussion, but put it to the people.
Say, please, give the people the right to tell you what they want to do.
And if we, the citizens, would like an opportunity to have a voice, then give us that voice.
I've heard people say tonight, give me the right to vote, don't take my vote.
Do what we want you to do.
I should start off by saying I'm not going to be supporting this measure.
You have this developer who is dictating every single term. Why do we have to sell our bonds before May 9th? Why? Perhaps could it be because we're going to have an election May 12th and there might be 3 new council members who won't vote for it?
Never in the history of the city of Irving has things taken place when you have a developer come into this city and spend $1.5 million to get council members elected that'll vote for his cause. That's never happened before.
I'm sorry our high school kids are not here tonight to see, I guess, what would shock most of them, to think that we are down here in America begging for the right to vote.
These just don't feel right and don't look right, that the residents have their voice.
Allow the citizens of Irving to decide whether or not to continue with the entertainment center by placing this issue on the ballot for the next election.
Well, I know I'm going to disappoint a lot of people here tonight, and you probably expected it.
I think that you cannot come here with your mind already made up when the masses have spoken. And it's a non-binding resolution.
You know what? For your reputation, why don't you just say, okay, we'll give it to the people, let them vote. That way nobody could say anything about us as a group, that we get money and we vote the way the people who give us money tell us to vote.
Let me tell you something. I just came back from San Antonio, where I spent a conference with elected officials from all over the state. They wished they had what Irving had.
I don't like going to work and they sliding that newspaper in front of my face, laughing at Irving. What's going on in Irving? What's going on in Irving?
How insulting could it be to have a non-binding offer to hear from the people and what they want? Is it 250 million now? The number's gotten larger, hasn't it?
But when I talk to people from other cities and elected officials, they envy what we have.
So there's nothing threatening about this vote unless you have something to hide.
It seems to me that the former
people have a ring in your nose and they're leading you around by whatever they want to do.
You've got it a little bit crossways. You know, in every investment I've ever been in, if I'm putting up most of the money, I have most of the say about what goes on.
Change your minds from what you walked in tonight, and for all your reputations. I have people calling me from all over the country. What's going on in Irving? I can't believe it. This guy, Billy Bob's buying everybody off. I said, no, I know these people. They're honest people. It just appears like that, right?
But I beseech you to remove the blinders that are keeping your eyes focused only on LCG, and momentarily, at least, let the people have a vote on May 12th.
If you want most of us to go home happy, either let us vote or limit all of the city of Irving's money. The 7% is off the board, not pledged, not cross-pledged.
I've had people call and scream about the money already spent and the taxes already raised and everything. Nothing's been done. And the money that's been spent so far on this project, it was the Brimer bill.
Talk about voting. Has LCG voted? They sure as heck did. They said we don't have the money by the deadline. Once, twice, somebody told me it was 3 times. I guess they did vote. I guess they don't really want to do it, do they?
I think you do a lot of dumb things.
Just let the people vote, and then after we vote, then do what you want to do.
I'm 88 years old. I see things that I just can't understand. I voted 2 years ago to have an audit to understand what was going on, and you didn't do that.
We've watched when there was talk about examining the books, when there was a change in administration. It was voted down, bam. Oh, we're not going to look at those books. God forbid we should do that. That's been our experience with you governing. That has been our experience.
We, the citizens, are becoming disheartened.
There's nothing wrong with putting something on a ballot when it's a non-binding referendum. All you're going to get is our opinion.
Are you not interested in what the people have to say?
I am not going to spend my months having the Dallas Morning News, or quite frankly, the Dallas Inquirer, based on the information they print, which, by the way, if that's where you're getting your facts from, you better rethink, because I can tell you it's slanted.
I know in my household you can't pledge something 3 different times and get 3 different loans. It's impossible.
That it will take an additional tax rate of 8 cents per $100 of valuation to produce that $13 million.
And we can't spend hot dollars 3 different ways in 3 different projects all at the same time. You only get to spend them once.
And it took me a while to figure this out. I'm amazed that some people can figure it out in 30 minutes.
And I read in the paper that some people on this council don't like to hear from us. The same people are up here talking all the time. Well, if we didn't have these kind of experiences, we wouldn't have to come down here.
I'm going to make a motion that this resolution do not be approved.
Second.
Anyway, so the motion to deny the referendum passes by a vote of 6-3. I brought this because I wanted people to have an opportunity to let us know where they wanted us to go on this project. It's changed in scope, it's changed in funding. And I hope after this vote you